Hello students, today I am going to start the new chapter of class 9th physics, that is forces and laws of motion. So as in previous chapter we have studied about the chapter motion. So here we discuss about the cause of motion. So our first point of discussion will be causes of motion. So as we all know, if one object is placed here, suppose having mass m, and initially this object is at rest. So how this object can move? So as you can see here, this object is initially at rest at this particular surface. When I am applying a push on this object starts moving. Right. What I am applying here? I am applying force on this object so that this object is able to move. Right. So another factor that causes the motion, that is known as the weight of the object. So causes of motion, first is external force. What is external force? That I am applying externally from this object. Right? This force is applied on this object externally. Right? So external force, first cause, and second cause, weight of the object. Right? Second cause, weight of the object. So these are two causes of motion. Right? So what other things a force can do? Let us see. So force can move an object, right? So one force can move an object, right? Suppose initially the object is at rest, I am applying certain force, so that force can move that particular object. Suppose this object is moving, right? So I am applying one force on this object, right? I have applied one force with my hand on this object. So what happens? The motion of the object stops, right? Motion of the object stops. So a force can stop the motion of an object, right? Now other thing, suppose this object is moving. So what I am doing, I am applying certain force on this object like this. So what happens? The direction of motion of this object has changed, right? So what a force can do? A force can change the direction of motion, right? A force can change the direction of motion. Correct? So any other thing which can be done by a force? Suppose this is an object, I am applying the force on this object by both my hands, right? So what is happening actually? The object is changing its shape, right? So why this is changing its shape? Because I am applying certain force on this particular object. So a force can change the shape of the object, right? So these are basic things done by a force. Next we talk about the definition of force. What is the definition? Suppose I am applying certain force on this board, right? I am applying certain force on this board, but this board is not moving, right? Still I have applied the force on this board, right? So this force tries to change the state of this particular object, but it is not able to change. But at least it tries. So how we define that force is something which changes or tries to change the state of the object. So this is how we can define the force. Now which type of quantity of force is if we apply certain force on this object, right? So let us see, the direction of motion of this object is along the direction of applied force, right? If I am applying the force in this direction, so object is moving in this direction. If I am applying the force in this direction, so object is moving in this direction only. That means the force has certain direction, right? So this is the directional quantity. The quantity which has certain direction, those quantities are called as vector quantities. In further classes, we will talk about the vector and scalar quantities, right? Now we will talk about the unit of force. Unit of force is Newton. Unit of force is Newton and represented by capital N, right? Now let us talk about how a force can be applied on an object. If I am applying the force something like this, so we are applying pushing force, and if I am applying the force something like this, so we are applying the pull force, as you can see in diagram here, right? This is what? The pull force, correct? This is what? The push force, correct? Next we talk about the resultant force. Resultant force, right? Suppose on an object there are many forces applied, right? Suppose one person is here who is applying the force on this object. What he is doing, he is pulling this object. Suppose applying certain force F1, and one other person who is pushing this particular object, right? Applying force in this direction, suppose F2. So what he is doing actually is helping to this person. Suppose this is Chintu and this is Mintu, right? So if Chintu wants to pull this object in their direction, right? So this Mintu is helping to pull that object in that direction only, right? Because both forces are applied in same direction, so they are helping to each other. So what will be the net force? The net force will be this force plus this force, right? So this motion will move with the force of net value equal to F1 plus F2, right? So that is suppose equal to F. So this F is known as the resultant force of F1 and F2. So is it clear what is resultant force? Suppose let us take another example. Suppose one person is applying a force F1 in this direction, another person is applying the force F2 in opposite direction, right? But let us consider the unit of this F1 force is 10 unit, right? 10 Newton force is F1 and F2 is suppose 3 Newton, correct? Someone is pulling this block and another person trying to stop that pull, right? But he is little weaker, right? So he is applying 3 Newton force. So what will happen with this object? This object will move in this direction only. Why? Because this force is greater than the opposing force, correct? But this object will not move with this 10 Newton force. Why? Because one resisting force is applied in opposite direction. So what will be the net force due to which there is the motion of this object? That is equal to this F1 minus F2, correct? This F1 minus F2, that is equal to 10 minus 3, that is equal to 7 Newton. So this object will move with the force of 7 Newton. Correct? Let us take another example. Suppose 10 Newton force is applied in this direction and 10 Newton force applied in opposite direction. Now what will happen? Because from both the directions equal forces are applied, but the direction that is opposite. So what will happen with this object? This object will not move, right? That means the net force F equal to, suppose this is plus 10 Newton, but this force is in opposite direction. Right, so minus 10 Newton, so that is equal to 0 Newton. So what is the resultant force here? 0 Newton, correct? So one conclusion we have got, that the resultant force is the net effect of total forces applied on the body, right? So as we have seen here, that the motion is happening due to resultant force only, right? Here the resultant force is 0, so object is not moving. Correct? Here the resultant force is non-zero, so object is moving. Correct? Here the object is moving in the direction of resultant force. Right? Because the resultant force will act in this direction only, because this 10 Newton is more than 3 Newton. If there is any other object, suppose 10 Newton acting in this direction, but 15 Newton force acting in this direction. So the object will move in this direction only, right? Why? Because the resultant force is acting in this direction. That will be equal to 15 minus 10, correct? 15 minus 10, that is equal to 5 Newton, correct? So since resultant force is acting in this direction, motion is happening in that direction only, right? So resultant force is the net effect, and an object moves in the direction of resultant force only. So hopefully this resultant force will be clear. So next we talk about the balanced forces and unbalanced forces. So previously we have talked about the resultant force. Let us consider an object on which two forces are acting. One force F1 is acting in this direction and F2 force is acting in opposite direction, right? So we have to find the resultant force acting on this particular object. So let us consider the resultant force acting on this object is this F, and that is acting in the direction of F1, right? So what will be the value of this F force? F force will be equal to F1 will be taken as positive. Why? Because we have taken the resultant force in this direction only. So this is supporting the resultant force, right? So that will be taken as F1 with plus sign, and since this F2 is acting in opposite direction, so that will be considered as with negative sign, negative F2, right? So resultant force is F1 minus F2, correct? F1 minus F2. Now, if this object is at rest, what is happening actually? If this object is at rest, then these forces must be equal, right? Means the force applied in this direction will be equal to the force applied in opposite direction. And if these two forces are equal, what will be the resultant force? If these are equal, the difference of this will be 0, right? So if these forces are equal, this object will not move, right? That means if the resultant force is 0, the object will not move, right? So these forces will be called as balanced forces. These forces will be called as balanced forces. So what is the condition of balanced forces? If the resultant of the forces, is 0, then these forces are called as balanced forces, right? So here F net equal to 0, F net equal to 0, so forces will be called as balanced forces, and if this F1 is greater than F2, so this value will be positive and object will move in this direction only, right? And if this F2 is greater than F1, so this will come out negative. If F2 is more than this, suppose this will have value 15 Newton and this is 10 Newton. So value will be minus of 5 Newton. This negative sign means the assumed direction will be opposite, right? So if this force is greater, the direction of motion will be this one, correct? So in that case, this F will not be equal to 0. That may be positive or may be negative. That will decide the direction of motion, but that will not be equal to 0. So the system will be unbalanced. That means these forces are unbalanced forces, correct? So if F net is not equal to 0, so those forces will be called as unbalanced forces, correct? So from the resultant force we can define these balanced forces and unbalanced forces, right? So if many forces are acting on a body and the resultant of those forces is 0, so those forces will be called as balanced forces. If their resultant is not equal to 0, so those forces will be called as unbalanced forces. So hopefully this will be clear.